has of course been our last week of celebration. It ends in Australia tonight at midnight, or just before midnight tonight. So it's been a busy week. I've been doing quite a few lives. I had my epic Facebook party the other night. Lots and lots of things going on, and I've got some new cool things to show you. So I'm just gonna sort of just make it up as I go along. What boys say, play by ear tonight. I've got a couple of ideas of things I'd like to show you. I do have something new that I got in my box this week that I wanted to show you what that was. So I'm hoping that you'll stick around, enjoy a little bit of time with me tonight, maybe even craft along if you want to, or you can just watch. Also, of course, I love it when you chat. Now I'm just going to go onto my computer, and when I look at my channel on the computer, I can see myself live, and by clicking on that, let me just turn that sound off, I can see if anyone comments. So I can see your comments on the computer, and I'll just look over there every now and then. So how is everyone? Hey Wendy. Hi. Thanks for saying. Because I've got a couple of Wendy's that comment. And so sometimes, I know you told me where you were from the first week, and then the second week I asked where you were from, and it was simply because I have a couple of Wendy's and I wasn't sure which one I was talking to, but I've got you now, so all good. Thank you. Good morning, Subu. Hey, hi Kay. So we've got some people local, we've got some people in the UK. That's awesome. Great start to the night. I'm going to be playing around. I'm going to show off some cards that I've made previously. Some of them you may have seen before. If anyone has any questions about any of them or wants to know what I did on any of the cards I'm showing you tonight, then please just ask. Don't forget, I'll be going live over on my Facebook page on a Friday night. So this same time slot, but on a Friday night is when I go live on Facebook. And then I also have I'm trying to get back into the routine, because I stopped there for a little while, of doing more technique videos and how-to videos during the week as well. And those will be here on my YouTube channel, but pre-recorded, not live like this one. Live is a whole different ballgame, guys. I'm still getting used to it. Of course, it means that if I mess up, you get to see that. And you might like that. I don't know. I'm not as keen, but hey, it's real life, yes? So let's get into it. I'm going to turn this camera around. Hey Bronwyn, nice to see you. Hi Helen. Well done in winning your prize the other night. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to turn this around now and let's get going. So just give me a second while I swap it over into the holder. Give me a sec. All right. I've noticed the days are getting a little bit shorter. And of course today is the last day of summer right here in Australia. I know in America they don't go by this. We go by dates. We go by the calendar on our seasons. And in America they go by like solstices and stuff like that. So there we go. All right, I've got my trimmer here because I may do some cutting. But I'm going to start with a couple of things. So like I said, Celebration is ending tonight. And if anyone does have any last minute orders to pop through, I'll be putting the online shopping link in the description below for you. So when I finish this video, you'll see that. But it's this little catalogue. It's been fabulous. I think the standout thing in here was the papers. There was some nice stamp sets too, but the papers were just beautiful. And I have had a good play with most of them. I got all the papers. The only thing I didn't get, there was a couple of stamp sets that I didn't get from here, but yeah, I've been having a bit of fun. So some of this is in no order whatsoever. This is the Paper Blooms paper, and it's got, one page has got some circles on it. Actually, it's right here, so let me show you. So this is the piece of paper that you can see I cut the circles out of, look. So literally just cut them out with scissors and a little bit of and just created a background. The butterfly is actually something new. This is going to be available. This is the Butterfly Brilliance suite of products that will be available on the 2nd of March, so from Tuesday onwards. And I just use these little circles as a background for my butterfly. And I use some, I don't know if you can see, some gold leaf, or the gilded embellishment. I use that over the top of my cutout butterfly, and I think it looked really, really nice. So that was that one. Don't worry, I won't take that long for every card, but I just grabbed a whole bunch of the Sale-A-Bration ones. This is the the Berry Blessings suite, which is, bundle, which was stamps and papers, and that is in the Sale-A-Bration catalogue. That's probably my favourite thing in the Sale-A-Bration catalogue. Back to the paper blooms again. I like the paper blooms because you can get so many different kinds of looks. I mean, to me, you wouldn't even know that was the same paper pack. Those are both from the same paper pack, so it gives you a lot of versatility. Then we have our Oso Ombre papers, and I like the Oso Ombre because they're great backgrounds. So whereas with paper blooms, I actually cut out the flowers and made it like a part of the design. For the Oso Ombre, I just use those as backgrounds. So this is obviously the Bermuda Bay one, but they have been a lot of fun and really, really useful if you're always looking for backgrounds. I think I'm going to use these tonight actually. So, you know, one side's got the circles and then others are plain. See, like this, circles and plain. They're the only designs, but the colours are Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, oh, is it Blushing Bride or Rococo Rose? I think it's Rococo Rose and Granny Apple Green. There we go, that one there. So they're pretty nice, and I have used these a lot. Lots and lots of sheets in a pack, which we love, and I've used them. This one is the Flower and Field. That one, really interesting papers in that one, lots of interesting designs. This is them. So you actually have some, like Flower and Fields, like it says. To me, this one's a field with all your little, you know, bits of grass and everything, and then your flowers, and then more geometrical designs on the back, like spots and herringbone and that kind of stuff. Stripes. I use this one a lot. That's the one I used on that card. I used this dotty one as a backing piece for my little chicken, those chickens. And then we've got the black with the white daisies. And this one I didn't do nearly enough with this one. I'm a bit sad I didn't get more time to do that one, but it's the blue flowers on the black background. I think that's really beautiful. So yeah, anyway, there you go. That's the Flower and Field. So all of these I'm showing you are free with a $90 order. So if you're placing an order, this is in Australia, the prices are different elsewhere, but in Australia, if you spend $90, you get to choose any of these papers for free, which I think is absolutely fantastic. This is the Berry Blessings paper I mentioned before. That one's a level 2 one because you get the stamps as well as the papers. Then this is the Oso Ombre paper again in the background, and once again here in the background. So this is a very simple little card. This one I used the Flower and Field and added some gold leaf to that for something really different. We made this one in a video a couple of weeks ago, you guys might remember, and I used lots of little scraps of the paper blooms set, and then I also coloured my white ribbon to match my paper, so that came together really nicely. Back to the Berry Blessings. So you can see quite a few repeats. The Oso Ombre paper here. Oh, and there's our chicken again. So just a few of the cards that I have made with these beautiful papers. I just think they're lovely, and you probably got to see some of the stamp sets in there as well. This little one here, where was it? Well, this one is the Thank You from the Heal Your Heart, which is a free set as well. And the other one that I was trying, oh, that one there, this little You Make My Heart Happy, that's from one of our Sale-A-Bration sets. It's actually from this one, the Punch Party set. See, You Make My Heart Happy. And I used this little guy as well, which fits inside the postage punch stamp. So quite a lot of these things actually match up with other things. This one's called Punch Party. This is actually one that was free with a $500 order, and the reason why that's so much is actually a host gift. Now, if you had a workshop or a party and you had enough orders to put through $500, you'd get this one for free. But people who put through orders of that size themselves also got it for free. So, but that's what that was all about. So there we go. All right, I'm going to pop these out of sight right now. If anyone wants to, yeah, lots of techniques. And I'm hoping that as time goes by, I can show you lots of techniques as we do our Sunday night lives. And also, you know, as I'm posting, I have posted a lot of technique videos. I do have a playlist called Techniques, which you're welcome to go and look at. But I find that lots of different techniques is what makes cards really beautiful, really interesting. Oh, you got the butterfly bouquet suite tonight. Oh no. Oh, whoops. So it's going to go to your other address and not where you are right now. That's a shame, Bronwyn. Ah. Such an easy mistake to make, such an easy mistake. All right, so what did I get this week? This week I got something new. I got this little bundle. This is the, oh, let's see what it's actually called, because I don't want to give you the wrong information. So the stamp set's called Kangaroo and Company, but the bundle is in the catalogue here towards the front. Oh, it is called Kangaroo and Company bundle. I didn't think it was called that. So there we go. I learned something too. So they've got some really nice little samples here, things that you could do with the big kangaroo, but also with some of the smaller items. And what I do like about this, and I'll show it to you if you haven't seen it already, is the fact that when you cut there's a die here that cuts out the kangaroo. Let's pull it out and have a look. This is actually a cheaper bundle too, so this is a good price point for anyone who's looking for a cheaper bundle. It actually has a little slit here in the pouch, so you can put some of these things in, okay, which I think is really, really cool. So you can easily just slide them into that little slit. So we're probably going to do that. You have got a little kangaroo, little Joey here that's looking at mum, but you've got half a Joey here that fits into the slit. Isn't that cute? So that you can put this one so that it's actually sitting in its mummy's pouch, which I think is really cute. Some great little words. I love the little envelope with the heart. That would also be really nice popping out of her pouch, I think. And it's also got a variety of stamps, sentiments, so you can have hello baby and make a baby card with this, which I think is a nice idea, or you can just make it a, you know, a hello type of card. There's hello, hopping by just to say hi, it's your day if you wanted it to be a birthday, and you could add a little birthday hat. So there's lots and lots of cool little things that you can have fun with this. So this is the set that I wanted to play with tonight because it's something new for me. This is actually the first time I've opened it up and had a good look, so I haven't even made a card with it yet. So let's see how we go. Alright, so the first thing I want to start with is the background. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white paper here that I've already pre-cut to size, and I've got a couple of options. Okay, I could just go with this. Now, if you have it, let's quickly pull this out. If you have the Oh-So Ombre paper, this would make a great background for this. Okay, let me just find the colour I want to use. I've got these all mixed up because they're because I've pulled them apart, and it's actually 2 packs too. It's not even 1 pack, it's 2 packs together. I mean, I could just use a dotty background, but my favourite one in here is just the ombre Bermuda Bay, and I think that'll be nice. The green would be nice too. Any of the colours would be great, but I really like the Bermuda Bay. That's probably my favourite. Alright, so let's bring in the trimmer, and I'm going to make this 9.5 centimetres, and deciding whether I'm going to take off the dark end or the light end. I think I'll take off the dark end, and I'm going to go 13.8. Okay, so that's my card front size. So that's the same size as the piece I cut before. I'm going to start with this and just show you how this looks with it, and I think I might go with the light down the bottom, but I can change my mind about that later if I want to. So I've got some pre-cut Whisper White here. Actually, it's basic white now, but mine is actually still Whisper White because I have quite a lot of Whisper White in my stash, so I'll be using that for a white yet. But if you're ordering it, it's not Whisper White anymore, it's basic white. Now I'm also using my mini cut and emboss machine. I don't know if you saw this, but when I did my Facebook Live the other night, I had this actually as my grand prize. So for anyone who ordered, I haven't drawn it yet because I'm closing the orders off tonight when Sale-A-Bration ends. So if anyone is ordering between now and then, you can still be in the draw to win one of these. So that's pretty short notice though for anyone who is just seeing this now. Alright, so this slot in the mini cut and emboss machine is 3.5 inches wide, or just short of 9 centimetres, and so I cut my paper to be that width as well. Okay, but what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to use deciding whether to watercolor my kangaroo or whether I'm going to color him with blends. If I use blends, then I need to have a water-based ink such as Memento. If I'm using watercolors, I need to have a waterproof ink such as StazOn. So I'm actually going to go with the Memento, and let's see how that goes. And then I want to bring in, I've got my kangaroo here. Just checking out the messages. Oh, you like that bundle? Good, good. Yeah, it's fun. Like I said, this is new for me. I'm using E-block with this. It's a little bit too big for D-block. So D-block is this size, and yeah, it's just hangs over a little bit, so it's not quite right. So you will need E, which is the next size up. And here we go. He's ready to go on there. Just move this out of the way. I know I've been talking about it for a long time, but I think I'm getting closer to getting a new desk, which I'm excited about. Alright. So I'm just making sure it's inked up really, really well because I want to make sure I get a good outline. This is with my Memento. And then I'm just going to stamp and hold. Excuse me. Alright, I see a couple of you know each other, that's nice. Oh, that's okay, Anita, it's never too late. Alright, so I've got my beautiful little kangaroo here. She looks happy, doesn't she? She looks very calm, at peace. I like her a lot. Alright, so now I'm going to run this through. Now, you could colour in first. I find quite often colouring is easier to do before you cut. However, the only problem with that is that if you are colouring, you do a fabulous job with colouring, you take your time, it takes quite a while sometimes, and then you mess up your cutting. You feel like I have to start again. So, yeah, anyway. So I'm using my cutting plates through my my mini cut and emboss, and I'm just going to pop this off. I better use the die, that would be really helpful. I'm thinking something's missing. Told you it's been a long weekend. Alright, let's pull these out. You guys would tell me if I did something really silly though, wouldn't you? Alright, so let's put this on here. You guys see that okay? I'll just move it over a little bit. Alright, so for anyone who hasn't had any dies for a while, the new dies that we have these days, so this is Stampin' Up's own dies since they parted ways with Sizzix. There used to be a little bit of a gap all the way around. Now you line it up exactly on the line. And it still does do a gap, but it's because the cutting edge of the die, which used to be right on the inside, is now right in the middle. So it's changed. I still sometimes find it surprises me. Whoops. Now, this is where sometimes getting a bit of washi tape is a good idea, because you can pop your washi tape on and hold it down. If you don't have washi tape, another option, if I have some here, I did have some here earlier. It's been here all night, wouldn't you know it? And now it's gone. And I was going to say, post-it notes are really handy. No, I moved them. I'm not sure where I moved them to, but I moved them. But that's okay. Alright, let me just try this and see if I can do it without. So I'm going to place this down, push it in gently. Now, what I find with this mini machine is you push until you see the handle start to move, and once the handle starts to move, it means it's gripping it and taking it through, and then we're just going to push that all the way through. There shouldn't be a lot of pressure. Most dies you'll find there isn't. Occasionally for like a more intricate die there might be a little bit more pressure. So I love my mini machine. I just think it's so useful, especially when I'm traveling or going to a class or something like that. Alright, so now I have my little kangaroo all ready to go. Now I'm deciding what I'm going to put in the pouch. What do you think, guys? It's very nice to see people here talking to each other. I love that. Thank you guys. You make it nice to do these things. Shall we do the Joey? Shall we do him? All right. Oh, here's the thing too. I need to show you. You can't see it from this side, but if you turn it over, look, there's the slit. You see that? So that's where you're going to put your Joey. He's going to fit in there beautifully, but you can't even see it because it's right on this line, so you can't see it at all. So it's actually really very good. So if you didn't want to put anything in the kangaroo's pouch, you don't have to. It's just a possibility, something you can do. All right, let's grab the little Joey. And I'm going to put him on a little tiny block. And I'm going to use the same piece that I used a moment ago. And I'm going to go get him inked up really, really well. There he is. How cute. What should we call him? Should we give him a name? Here's the matching die. What I do love about this machine, in case you haven't noticed, is everything's numbered. 1, 2, so I know what order to put things in. It's great. Let's put him on here. Let's put his... The little ones I find tend to not move as much when you put them through. It'll make a liar of me, but usually it's much easier like that to put it through. Sorry about the shaking of the camera. That's where having a sturdier desk will definitely help me. Right, so I've got these two. I'm going to put these two dies back into the pack so I don't lose them. There they are. Alright, so now we have Joey and Mum. Alright. So I'm deciding what colours to go with. I've got lots and lots of great choices. Smoky Slate is a great choice. That's light Smoky Slate. And this is dark Smoky Slate. Yep, that's good. That's what I want. So I usually start when I do blends. If you don't have blends, grab a couple of colours. Then they're not that expensive. They're around the $15 mark, $15.50 I believe for two for a pack. And they aren't just for colouring in stuff. They are also used for colouring just about anything because they work on both porous and non-porous surfaces. So you can colour, like for example, I suggest that you always keep some clear rhinestones, okay? If you have always got clear rhinestones, then you can colour them any colour you like with your blends. So just say I'm working on a project and I wanted to use Granny Apple Green, I could just use my brush end and colour my rhinestone, and now I have a green rhinestone. Grab a couple of those, colour as many as I need, and they look beautiful on a green background or a green project, okay? So that you don't have to worry about it wiping off. It won't. If you did this with your Stampin' Write markers, your normal water-based markers, it doesn't work. It just wipes straight off. But your alcohol markers will colour them permanently, okay? So it is absolutely fantastic. It's not just for colouring in, it's for colouring all sorts of things to match your projects. So I strongly suggest that you invest in a few colours that you tend to use a lot. They are fantastic for that purpose. Also, you've seen me in weeks gone by colouring my ribbon with these as well. So just some white ribbon and colour them to suit yourself. I just think they're fantastic. So I'm going to colour the feet in the dark Smoky Slate. And I'm going to do the same thing here as well. I'm starting out with my dark one. And then I'm going to do, I find by having dark at the bottom, it kind of gives the idea of shadow. Yeah? So that makes sense. You like my desk? Oh, really? It's just a little, what do you call it? Folding table. So it's not even, it doesn't have any strength to it. So I'm using my light one now. See the colour difference between the dark and the light? But as we go over that edge, they start to blend. And that's where the magic of blends comes in. I love them. I think they're so good. And the colours just blend beautifully. See, now we're losing that line. I'm going to also colour up here to the tail in a lighter colour. So this is the light smoky slate that I'm using. So I get my dark one down first and then I get my light one to do all the work. Different people do it different ways, but that I find works quite well for me. So just working over that dark edge there. And they don't take long, you know, it's quite quick, but one thing you do need to be mindful of is to be really, really light-handed with them. So don't push too hard because you will damage the tips. So you just want to like float the colour over the top of the page, and that's all you need to do. Just really, really light, and then they should last you for a good long while. Alright, that's looking good. Okay. And of course, kangaroos can be a number of colours. I grew up on a farm here in Australia, and we had on our property a lot of kangaroos. And we did have, and you only saw them every now and then, we had 1 or 2 albino kangaroos, pure white ones. And on the farm, and I hope this won't shock anybody, we did actually, every now and then we had to have shooting parties go out because the kangaroos eat a lot of the crops, but no one would ever shoot the white kangaroos. Never ever. They were too precious. So kangaroos here in Australia, for those of us that grew up on the land, they probably have a different feeling about them than people who look at them from overseas. I'm going to use petal pink, a light petal pink in the ears and on the end of the nose. And I'm deciding whether to leave this front bit here. I might just leave that white. We'll see. She's looking beautiful. That's very nice. Alright, then we've got a Joey, and I'm deciding whether I keep him, or where did he go? Here he is. I'm decided whether to keep him grey as well, but maybe give him different colours in his ears, darker pink maybe in his ears. But I'm going to make him a darker grey so he stands out. And I'm going quite light with him. Then his face, dark down the bottom, I'm going to give him a lighter face. So the kangaroos that were on the farm that I grew up on were mostly the grey kind, like this, coloured very similarly to this actually. Whereas I'm going to go darker pink this time, a little bit darker. Looks more apricot. I'm wondering if I might go to a different colour. I'm going to go light Rococo Rose and see how that looks, and it might be quite a bit darker, but that's okay. Actually, I don't mind that. I'm going to go darker on both of them because I think it's really a nice colour. There we go. See you on the replay, Bronwyn. Call him Springer. Why? Put a Joey in. Yes, we are. Flowers I might do next time. Helen, I think that would be nice too. I'm just looking at all your comments. I know, Cindy, I saw you have quite a collection of blends. I saw that in that photograph the other night. Yeah, and my goal is to get them all eventually as well, and I currently don't have all of them, but that's a really nice idea. Now, see how we have this slit here that the dive did for us. Our little guy fits right in there. How cute is that? Isn't that great? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the glue dot behind him so he's going to stay there. Wouldn't it be great if you could make babies stay where you put them? Certainly wasn't my experience. And I've done it twice. Alright, let's pop this in. So this is quite a realistic looking grey, I think, for the kangaroo. There he is. Look at that. Now let's pop some dimensionals on the back while we're here. And I'm going to pop these here. So yeah, people might be especially people who are overseas, might be a bit shocked to know that kangaroos are viewed by farming communities as a pest, mainly because they eat their livelihood, and that's not really a good thing. When you, just going to grab a mini dimensional, here we go. When you have crops that you've spent a lot of time and money on investing in, you do not want them to get eaten. And I used to look out the back window, which we were sort of on a slope, and then there was like a little valley where a creek went, and then back up on another slope again. And I remember looking out the window, and I could just see all these dots of kangaroos in the paddock, you know, of the wheat or whatever it was that we were growing, and would make my dad very unhappy. He loved them and also disliked them in equal measure. So, yeah. Nice kookaburra. Where's the kookaburra? Is there a kookaburra in here? No. What kookaburra? Who's talking about kookaburras? Okay. Yeah, the damage they do to cars, if you hit one, it's like hitting a brick. Well, there's only one thing more like hitting a brick than hitting a kangaroo, and that's hitting a wombat. Wombats really are like solid concrete. You don't want to hit those things. They're terrible. Alright, so here I've got my background paper, and here I have my little kangaroo. Alright, so now I've got to think about, well, what else am I going to put on here? So you can do a lot of different things with this, but I'm actually thinking that, actually I've got a piece here. Let me see what size I need. I'm thinking maybe, I've got my dies close by so I can quickly make up my mind. I'm thinking I might add perhaps one of the Stitch So Sweetly dies. So let me just choose that one out of the box. Or maybe something else. I haven't decided for sure. So here's my box. So this is how I store my dies. It's not terribly scientific, but it works. I'm just deciding what ones to go with. You know what? I might just do a straight old rectangle. That might be good. Rather than an actual... Yeah, I think I'm just going to do a rectangle die. And how big will I make the rectangle? These are great. Now, I should have them on a magnet or something, because when you open up, you're going to see mine are all over the place. Look at that. Everywhere. So that one's too big. This one might be okay. Let me see what this will look like. I like that you can put these on and then kind of get an idea for how it might look on the piece. Yeah, maybe that's good. I certainly wouldn't want it any bigger than that. Yeah. Alright, this is the one. And I like these. These are called the stitched rectangle dies. Something you might not know about these is they make a beautiful, well, we all know that they make a beautiful, they're called stitched rectangles. They make a beautiful stitching edge on the die, on the shape that you cut out. But I don't know if you can see this. Let's just bring this up a little bit closer. Can you see this okay? Can you see there's not one but two rows of stitching? So you've got your stitching row here, and then you've got your cut line, and then another stitching row. Can everyone see that okay? So what this does is it leaves a stitched edge on your project, but it also puts a stitched edge on the negative piece. So I'm just going to pop this on here. Is this wide enough? Oh, it's almost too wide, but I will get that through. It's just going to fit. Alright, and here's another tip. This is something I learned from Stampin' Up! Just the other day. If you put your die like this, it can be sometimes when you put your dies through, they can be a little bit tricky to push through. It can take a lot of energy. But if you turn them on an angle, they go through easier. They go through smoother. How interesting, hey? I'm sure there's some physics reason why, but it's good to know. So I'm just going to push this through. And because they're a nice simple shape, you don't need to go through and then back again. Just one pass through is fine. So let's take that out. You can see it's cut quite nicely. And can you see? Let's have a look. This is the stitching on the outside and then the stitching on the inside. So we have the 2 rows. So if I take this off, I have a stitched edge here. Can you see that? On the external side. So that would be really handy if I was trying to make a frame shape and I wanted that stitched edge. And then, of course, there's another stitched edge. Just have to push it in the right place. Another stitched edge here on the outside of this. Okay, so that's what we're going to use now. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to put this in the middle. Actually, I'm deciding whether I'm going to go this way or whether I go this way. Or we might have to talk a little bit of tip, or whether I go this way. You know, I've decided I want to go landscape, not... And I'm going to go landscape with the kangaroo against the lighter side. There we go. That's how I'm going to do it today. And then that's going to give me a nice space here for my sentiment. Now, I could choose a sentiment from the set because we've got some really nice sentiments, but they are all quite small, and I'm thinking maybe I might like a bigger sentiment. So, what have I got close by? I think I have... You've seen me using this one a lot lately because I love it. I've got the Pretty Perennials and the Happy still left over from another card, so I'm thinking this one might be the one I want to use on here. So let me grab my... What colour will I go with? I might go with... I can go with Coastal Cabana. I wonder if that's dark enough. Or the other option would be to go with maybe Bermuda Bay. But I think maybe I'll go with Coastal Cabana just because it's, well, A, it's here, and alright, I've got this. So because I know the kangaroo's on this side, I'm putting my Happy over this side, and I'm putting it up a little bit higher than halfway, just like that. And I've also got in this same set, we've got some smaller words. We've got Happy Mail, we've got Happy for You, we've got You Make Me Happy, Happy Birthday. We've got all these different things, but I'm thinking I might go with something small. I'm using a lot of Happy Mails lately because I send out gifts to say thank you for your orders, and having those on a card, having a card for those that says Happy Mail makes me happy. Alright, so this was Rococo Rose. Will I go with that colour again? I think I will. So it's going to say Happy Mail. The other option would be to cut it out on a piece of paper and pop that up, because that would look nice as well. Alright, so the thing is now, because I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, do I want to do this on dimensionals as well? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have this one flat. So I'm just going to use my seal to pop that on. That's true. By having it on a white background, I don't need to colour between the legs. That's exactly right. And I'll show you what Cebu means by that. It's a very good point. When you're using a white background to put this on, it doesn't, I don't really need to colour in. Now, if I wanted to, I still could. I could add a little bit of this Bermuda Bay because I have the blends for that, and it would look like that's the background. I could do that. Oh, I still might, you know. I haven't decided. Alright, so let's take these dimensionals off. So I've got a mini one on the tail and the others are all just standard size. This is a pretty simple card, right? Is anyone crafting along with me tonight, or are you all just watching? There we go. Now, I'm going to put this piece here. I've got a bigger piece of Bermuda Bay, so I'm just going to see the other side is Rococo Rose. I love these Oso Ombre papers. I'm going to miss them. Can't believe it's the last night I get to use them, but they're very, very, very nice to have. And for all of you who've already got them, you're going to really love using them. They're fantastic. Alright. And then I'll pop that on a, let me find it, let me put this ink away so I don't end up with ink everywhere, because that's one of my tricks, is to get ink all over everything. Oh, I just found my Bermuda Bay ink pad. It's in the space for the Coastal Cabana ink pad. That's why I couldn't find it. I've got them around the wrong way. Alright, I probably could have moved that over a little bit. In fact, I wish I had now. It looks a little bit lopsided, but it's still a nice card. I still like it. Let me find, have I got a piece of, got a whole bunch of pieces of Whisper White paper and basic white paper there. But I'm looking for the thick stuff. This is the thick stuff, because that's the best for card bases. In my opinion, anyway. Does anyone else use the thick white for your card bases? Now I feel like this card just needs something. Maybe it's a little bit of bling, maybe it's ribbon. So now you've seen me use my Kangaroo and Company stamp for the very first time. It's very cute. I do like it a lot. I'm going to have a little think about what that needs. And then I'm going to add that and post this picture so you guys get to see it on my Instagram and Facebook pages. You'll get to see how that turns out when I add whatever it is I'm going to add. I'm still thinking about it. Now, I'm going to do one more thing and talk about backgrounds. So the Oso Ombre backgrounds are beautiful and they're very, but what if you don't have them? What if you're seeing this video after Sale-A-Bration is over and they're already gone? You can't get them anymore. You do have other options. I think that the Kangaroo and Company stamp set is one that you kind of need to think about your background. Okay, you're not just going to stamp, well, I don't think anyway, unless you really are going for a very quick card, you're probably not just going to stamp the kangaroo on a piece of white paper and call it done. You're going to be doing things to the background, you're going to be doing things, colouring him in or something. Or, you know, there's different techniques you could use to make him really pop. But I think paying attention to your background is definitely something that's going to help you. So the other thing I love if I don't have background paper is my blending brushes. Now these are fairly new. They are in our current mini catalogue that came out in January, and I absolutely love them. And as you can see, I've been using them for different colours, and you can very easily see what colour I've used them for. Okay. Now you can wash these. They can be washed and just under a tap and some soapy water, and you'll get most of the colour out, enough of the colour out that you can then turn around and use them for a different colour. But what I've been doing, because they're $21 for 3 in a pack, and I've just been, like, I use this colour a lot, okay, especially Bermuda Bay, in a similar card to what you saw me just use. But I think that if you are using a lot of a particular colour, there's no need to clean them. You can just use them for that colour. So this one I will always use for green. This one I will always use for blue, or this kind of greeny blue. So I tend to keep them just for a particular colour and store them like that. This one, I'm going to always use it for pink. Alright, so let's go, because we used Bermuda Bay last time, let's go with with this colour, which is actually Old Olive. I'm just seeing if I have Old Olive handy. I do. Here it is. And this is how easy these are to use. Now, daubers still have their place, and so do sponges. They're still useful for things like going around the edges of sheet of paper and so forth. But these guys are actually literally brushes. Look, can you see? If I run my finger through it, you can see all the bristles. Okay, so hundreds and hundreds of little bristles that make this job of sponging and making a beautiful, beautiful background so easy. All right, so I'm just going to do some really basic sponging and then show you something you can do with it. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm pushing quite firmly into my ink pad, and I've picked up, you should be able to see that's darker than it was. And I'm actually going to start, where will I want him? All right, I'm going to start here in the middle. Now see, immediately it starts to, the colour starts to pool, but as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, it gets more and more even. Okay, it's really, really beautiful. It gives you a lovely, lovely result. I think so too, Cindy. I think I'm going to be colouring the Bermuda Bay between those legs. I think I will. Just watching, Kay. That's okay. I hope it's entertaining enough to just watch. Thank you. I think it's a cute card too. Alright, so just like this. And then what you would do is you'd have your shape, whatever shape you're going to have. So let's quickly punch a shape so that you can see what this might look like. So I'm just going to punch out an apple. And, you know, whatever shape I have over the top, and you can see that you just have this beautiful sponging coming out from behind. Okay, it looks really, really good. Now, if I wanted more to go further up, like I've just got a circle of colour there at the moment, but just say I wanted to go up further, so I always start back in the middle, and I get firmer and firmer as I go, and this time I'm sort of pushing the colour out a little bit more further up. And I'm going to keep going until it's even. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do with it. So I'll also put this card up as well. This is just a little bit of technique for you. And for anyone who lives locally to me, I'm actually doing this as a technique class, not just this particular technique, but using the brushes. Everybody in the class is going to get a set of the blending brushes in the class. And that's on Wednesday the 10th of March. For anyone who would like to come, if you live on the Central Coast or can get to the Central Coast quite easily. I've got a little bit of a gap of colour here, so I'm just going to keep... If you're not happy with the way something's look, you just keep going at it, okay? Just... Alright, so just say we have an apple. Alright, so now I've got this background, which looks fine, but if I wanted to do something really interesting with it, there's actually a couple of things. Actually, you know what? I'll start by just showing you one of my favourite things. This is just a little tub of water, okay? So easy. Once you have sponged, and this works as well whether you're using the brushes or whether you're using a sponge or a dauber, so long as you've got plenty of ink on the page, I put my fingers into the water, let the drips sort of just finish coming off, and then I'm just going to flick. Now it looks like nothing's happening initially, but quite quickly you're going to see it gives us this fantastic splatter design. Alright, can you see them coming? Let's see. Alright, you can speed them up with a heat tool if you like, but it doesn't take very long. Or you can just pop it to one side, and I love this look. I just think it's such a cool look. And I've already got an idea for this card, which I'm going to post. It doesn't involve an apple. It involves something totally different, which just occurred to me, and you're gonna see this background turn up on a card. So when you see me post that, you'll have to comment and say, "Ha ha, that's what you did with that background." So I know exactly what I want to do with it. It's going to be a bit of fun. Okay. Did anyone have any questions tonight? Which card did you mean, Shirley? You mean the kangaroo card? I do like this set. I just think it's a lot of fun. I love the little birthday hat. I think it's gorgeous. So for anyone in Australia, if you're watching this Kangaroo and Company bundle, so most bundles, right, are cost around 80, mid 80s to mid 90s, most bundles. There are some that are more because they've got a lot more intricate or moving pieces. This one, however, with the kangaroo, is right up here near the front. Of course I won't be able to find him now. So I'm going to look up the index because that's what we do when we can't find something. Thank goodness for the index, hey? Page 17, okay? So yeah, it's a really good price point. I had a few people purchase it for that reason. So the stamps by themselves are 28, which is really great because there's 20 stamps in there. The dies by themselves are 44, and there's 11 dies in there. But if you're buying both together, you get a 10% off deal. So it's a bundle, 10% off for $64.75. So that's really awesome for both stamps and dies. I think it's a really great price. There's some nice samples in here too. So you've got the kangaroos holding a little bunch of love hearts, and here they've just done some interesting backgrounds and added the little envelope with the heart. This one just uses the joeys. So, and there's also some more at the back. If you're looking, when you look at the back, they put all the bundles together. So on page 75, and they've got another little sample there. So on some cute background paper, you've got your little joey, a darker colour than the mum, and some hearts and things in the background. And it's a baby card. So that's a really cute way to use it as well. So there you go. That's what I'm playing with tonight. I think these are fun. An umbrella. Ooh, that's a nice idea. That's a great idea, Cindy. I'm sure we could do something with that. But yeah, I've got an idea for this now. So, all right. So I think that's it from me tonight. Not a particularly long one, but I hope that that's been fun for everyone to watch. I hope that you enjoy making some water splatter with your backgrounds, because I just think it's the cheapest and easiest thing. Bit of water in a container, splatter it on over some ink, and you get some really great ideas. Now, something this should also tell you is that you can also use a bit of water with your stamps and stamp into it as well, and that gives you some interesting looks as well. But we can talk about that another time. Okay, so thank you everybody. I hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope that this week is going to be a good one for you. I hope to see you online. Don't forget, Sale-A-Bration ends tonight, so if you do have an order to put through, I will be popping the online store details in the comments so you can go there and place an order. Every $90 gets you something for free. I hope everyone is well, and stay well, people. Okay? Bye-bye.